PvZ between Guru and MaNa. Let me actually just update this on the stream, let you guys know what is happening, what we're casting, because I'm very slow. Happy derpy. Adzi, our current bit boss board leader, with the 512 bits. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream today. As we kick this off to the bottom right hand side, our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. And to the top left hand side, the green Zerg is Guru. Alright, so looking to see what's going to happen here in the next few moments. Looking to see how this game will be set on up, as we do see a hatchery coming down. PvZ. Did we cast PvZ yet today? No, we didn't. We cast a TvZ, TvP, and a ZvZ. So actually our first Protoss versus Zerg of the day gives us quite a little bit to talk about here as we get set on and up through this. So PvZ has been very interesting lately. We've been seeing a lot of longer games. We've seen a very well figured out mid game. People have really started to kind of understand truly, you know, how to play this matchup and the better ways to do it. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Immortals here, probably a lot of Storms, probably a Stargate opening. As we got this set up and rolling. Let's see what MaNa's tech is going to be here as soon as he just replaces that Cybercore just slightly. Wasn't quite in the best position. And we are going to be seeing the simulator just dropping down from MaNa to the side here. So just going to be dropping that simulator down in the main base. Double gas here, looking for that tech choice. As for Guru, in terms of what he can do in this game, I mean, Hydroling Bane has been making a bit of a resurgence, but in general, a lot of players are playing kind of very early Roaches into Hydras. A lot of players just playing in towards that Hive tech, looking towards Broodlords, and just playing in general just longer games. We've seen a lot of really cool ZVP lately, and we've been seeing a lot of Lurkers as well. I really like where the meta game is settling. The only issue I really have with it is I think it's a little bit... It's very, you know, every single game you sort of expect the same thing, right? So... as you know, if you expect the same thing every time, it kind of gets maybe a little bit uninteresting, you could argue. And that's maybe my only qualm with PvZ right now, is that you kind of already know what's going to happen. Very rarely do you see someone change it up massively. And even if they change up the first 5 minutes of the game, their mid game is just so similar and well, well predicted out. So it's pretty crazy as we do see this Stargate on the way up in the main base. We just get set up and ready to roll into this here as we do see this Overlord just sat at the front, just watching to see what's going on. And we do see a few Zerglings from Guru starting to move across down towards the bottom right-hand side of the map. So Link Speed's about to finish up, and as Link Speed finishes up here, Guru will have a bit more map control. His third hatchery's already on the way down. As the third hatchery starts to come on through, we are just going to be seeing the, well, you know, Phoenix production style. He's going to get the Phoenix out, push back this Overlord. Then he's going to come in with an Oracle, and then he's going to be able to throw down his further tech. He actually was thinking about throwing a Robo down as part of the wall, but then I think he thought twice about it because he doesn't want to see the Overlord to see the follow-up. So he's going to wait just a little bit longer. He's going to throw the Robo down now, and it allows him to get the Oracle out first instead. So yeah, I'm guessing just prioritizes the Oracle here, and he does finish that wall off in the end. Anyways, as we are going to be seeing, the Phoenix picking up the Overlord kill. And a few more Overlords coming up. Actually, Guru, 3 Overlords on the way. Obviously, that's not looking too great. There's a few Zerglings just going to be coming down to the south side and just going to be trying to pick away at this Adept. So, just looking for some more damage here and there, and just looking for some bits and pieces. Meanwhile, Soul has tied up 1-1 against Braddock, so that series is ongoing. Already 2 games down, going into game number 3. Robo Facility and a Twilight Council is coming up here right away as well, so still seeing MaNa just go into that very typical follow-up where a Warp Prism, a Templar Archives, and the Archon drops will start to come on out as the Oracle actually finds 3 or 4 worker kills here. That's really nice. I mean, 4 workers killed. He gets out with a decent amount of health left on him. It's not like he's just getting away with like nothing at all. So this actually works out pretty awesome for this Oracle backing away through the center of the map here. A few Zerglings down at the bottom side, and we do see another Warp Prism just building up here as previously mentioned. Templar Archives coming through and a few gateways on the way up as well in this main base as the Oracle comes in and starts to just zap, zap, zap at a few of those Zerglings, getting rid of them as quickly as they can. We are going to be seeing the War Prisms coming in towards the upper left-hand side, and Phoenix just sat overhead with the idea of maybe catching an Overlord or two, just maybe keeping an eye out for any units coming across the map here early. You know, he actually kind of watches this pathway and this pathway to some extent, so you can give him a bit of idea what's going on. Oracle's actually out of energy and can't defend the third base, which means that this base is going to get well, hit pretty hard. I mean, 2 pylons going down. This is a little bit painful for MaNa here right from the get-go. As we're going to be seeing this Nexus will also take some more shots, so Nexus taking some hits, and actually Morling's on the way up. One of those scenarios where maybe Guru just feels like this has already been a good start. By making a few more lings, he can maybe capitalize on continuing to deal with this. As we are going to be just seeing a few lings continue to nibble away at the third base. More lings coming over the map, a few extra gateways on the way down in the main, and just going to be having the Oracle still here ready to pick away at a few of those lings now. The extra gates from MaNa, I mean, still not really able to hold on to this third base at all. The extra gates may allow him to start getting some extra warpins here, but is he even going to be able to stabilize? He's actually may just set up to kind of completely attack on the other side and just completely commit to this. He doesn't even have anything here to defend, so he's going to lose access to his Robo and his gateway at the front in a moment or two. He saves 1 Adept to help deal with this now. As you see Bane's on the way up, so Guru's going to get ready to defend. Zealots and Archons moving forwards, and they are going to hunt down those initial units here. The Queen's pulling back away to the right-hand side, and here we go. Banes are going to go off on a couple of Archons initially. 3 Archons here. It's going to do a lot of damage, but he needs to keep macroing them backwards, and MaNa's just running out of units. This entire game for MaNa, I think, was just like a disaster from the start. Just losing the pylons on the third base and just everything getting out of hand from there. Guru just capitalizing on absolutely everything he can. I mean, once you take a lead, you know, once you take a lead like this, if you play it correctly, it can be so hard for the Protoss to find their way back in. MaNa now has +1 starting up, so I wonder if that's just a way for him to try and help out with this next attack. But Chrono Boosters and Gateways, I mean, it definitely looks as though he is going to attack again. 2 Archons still around using the Prism to keep them alive. Another Warpin should be here in a moment. It's going to be 2 more Archons, a few more Zealots. I mean, more Banes morphing in. I mean, the thing is, Guru just hasn't stopped his kind of, unit production. That said, he's actually down a little bit on supply, so maybe Guru will struggle a little bit here. Let's see how the Bane connections go. This is where the Archons become so important, because you need the Archons to hit, take the Bane and hits, not the Zealots. A few Zealots remain to allow the Archons to keep pushing forwards. More Zealots will warp in. Is Guru really in trouble? Where on earth did this go wrong? Huh? Maybe he just committed too much earlier, so his economy wasn't there to keep on dealing with this. I really don't feel as though this was going well at all for Guru. Wow, he traded so badly here. Wow, maybe I just really misread the first fight. I really think the first fight he pushed it back. He killed an Archon or 2. I really thought this was actually Guru's game. He taps out here. I mean, MaNa hits with that +1. He hits with the just follow-up. Wow, the power of the instant replay. MaNa, a little bit fortunate there. I don't think that was MaNa winning the game as much as it was Guru losing it. With the way that he just, again, a mechanical error getting supply blocked for that amount of time is absolutely insane. As we have to the top right-hand side, our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. And at the bottom left-hand side, the green Zerg is Guru, who will open up with a pull first. We'll see what comes of that. Maybe just doesn't want MaNa to be able to block him here if there's probe for too long in the early stages. Well, we're going to be seeing the drone just nibbling away at this probe here initially, and we're all going to be seeing it obviously coming down to try and get access to the natural expansion. Just going to start trying to break his way through here as we've seen just another couple probes being chrono boosted out. Nexus will be dropping very soon. And we just see a pylon coming down to block this a little bit longer. It just means that Guru will move on over to the third base. He's going to drop down the hatchery on the third base instead. And, yeah, just going to drop down the hatchery over here. So, throwing this down, and I mean, that's fine. You know, by the time he actually gets the third hatchery up, he can just put it here. There's not going to be a probe blocking anymore, so all good. You're generally going to go up to these 3 bases so quickly anyway. And as we do, just continue to set up into this. He needed roaches to stop that. Honestly, I don't even know if he needed the roaches. I think just the extra Zerglings would have been fine. with the damage that he'd done? No, he wasn't supply blocked for 7 minutes. He was supply blocked at 7 minutes. He's supply blocked at 7 minutes until 7 minutes and 55 seconds. So he was supply blocked for like almost an entire minute. So going to be seeing the warp gate coming on in here. As we see the Stargate going to drop down. It's a biker horse coming into the chat for the 8-month resub. How you doing? Thank you so much for the 8 months of resubscribing. Right here on WardiTV. Appreciate the love. How's it going? Let's see some love in the chat for the 8-month resub. Well, we get set up. We get ready to go. And we look to see what will happen in game number 2. With the Stargate already on the way up, it's looking pretty normal at the start here. Even putting the Stargate in the natural wall-off. If that means he wants to kind of hide something in the back here a little bit faster. That's exactly what I was thinking, because why would you put the Stargate in the wall-off unless there's maybe, you know, something you want to skip or, you know, like something a bit weird going on. And this faster Twilight Council is definitely going to be something which I think is kind of a sign of this. So, Twilight Council coming up, and what's it going to be? Like a fast Dark Shrine? Is obviously a possibility. Maybe just a very fast Resonating Glaives would make a lot of sense. Fast Glaives, of course, can get a lot done if your opponent isn't expecting. And we do see Adept production. I mean, that doesn't tell us a lot because usually we do expect to see Adepts anyways. Surprised this Overlord isn't going to fly further into the main because, I mean, at this stage, the Phoenix is going to pop out and he's going to lose the Overlord anyways. He's not going to be able to save it, so... Yeah, I don't really agree with the Overlord not being moved forwards already. Maybe he just didn't realize the Stargate was this quick. I mean, that would be very bad map control considering... Not map control, but very bad kind of awareness of what's going on right in his own vision, right? So... That would be a little bit silly. Overlord gets taken down, the Phoenix grabs the kill, and that was a build on the low ground that gets cancelled to try and fake out what this is. So MaNa playing some mind games here. Guru sees this tech structure, which then gets cancelled, and so obviously for now, he has no idea what's going on. Skipping the Oracle even means that MaNa will have even more gas to throw into extra Adepts, as we see 2 plus 3 gates. That's 5 more gates on top of the one at the front, 6 gates in total. The math on stream is real. It's time for him to go across the map to start looking to really get some damage done here with these Adepts in the next few moments. So, Glaives coming up, the extra gateways are finishing. And MaNa's attack, I mean, if he just catches Duru with his pants down, he's going to be able to get so much done here. Let's see what he's going to be able to achieve. As you see, the first thing is coming up the ramp. He sees a couple of the Adepts in the back, though. That's a mistake by MaNa, allowing Guru to see this. Sees those extra couple of Adepts, and that might be a bit of a telltale sign that, you know, something a little bit funky is going to be going on here. Well, coming across the map, we're going to be seeing 8 of these Adepts joined up. 14 links currently on the way. Banelin has about to finish. Guru doesn't have much gas to make Banelins. We'll see if he can hold this off with the Zerglings as he continues to add a few more drones. I wonder if he realizes how serious this attack is for MaNa. Next warping comes across the map as well. 6 more coming towards the bottom left-hand side. And he is just going to move in towards the third base. No need to actually commit to the shade if there's nothing on the third. So here we go. Maulings and Banes on the production tab as extra Adepts join up. This is a scary, scary force. Now MaNa will drop down a robo facility here. I mean, just straight up, the third hatchery might just die. The third hatchery might just die as we see those Adepts going to shade on through in towards the natural expansion. I mean, they're just going to sit here and kill the third base, right? I mean, why wouldn't you? Killing the third hatchery is huge, and especially if it's a Ling Bane defense, you're so reliant on having the right amount of lava that by not having a third hatchery of lava, it's really going to hurt for you, as you're going to be seeing these Adepts. I'm just going to see what they can find, maybe moving on from here, but he will back away. I mean, the damage is already dealt, right? And he goes down into a Robo Bay. I mean, I wonder if he just makes a couple Colossus just because he's like, well, you know what? I'm in this position where I got all the time in the world. I just have to defend. I make a couple Colossus while I take a third base. What is Ling Bane Hyder going to do if I get up to Colossi this safely and this easily? You see one Ling getting picked off there, as we do have +1 melee upgrade from Guru is about to finish up. So that's going to be wrapping up in a moment or so here. The Bane speed currently on the way up as the Adept Shade doesn't get seen by too much. And just a few more Hydras on the way out at the moment here from Guru. So just getting set up into a few more units as we see those Adepts from MaNa. Pre-split, just waiting for the Banes to maybe come in and fight. He's just like, let's go. Pre-split Shade. He's going to have to keep those split if he actually wants to commit, but I don't think he does. I mean, there's so many Zerglings here. He's going to be backing away, and Again, he just sort of sits around, he just sort of backs off and keeps these Adepts on the map, keeps them active. You see, what came out of the Robo Bay, actually? Nothing yet? Okay, interesting. He actually just warps in a bunch of sentries, made an Immortal, and looks as though he's just going to get ready for a follow-up attack now. Yeah, I don't really think that MaNa necessarily needs to go for an attack, but obviously at the same time, Guru's been sat on 2 bases against, you know, 2 bases for a long time as well, and again, a 2-base Zerg really doesn't work very well in the current metagame. It never has in any metagame of Protoss versus Zerg, so in general here, as MaNa comes across the map, attacking should kind of be the right decision. Of course, it will still come down to the engagement. You can't let the Banelings get too much damage, you can't let the splash be too high. And as we see the Adept shade forwards, MaNa looking for some info as we're going to be seeing this hatchery taking some shots. Has to be cancelled here right away. The drone will go down, and it's going to be seeing another couple of Banelings currently morphing into the side here for Guru. Muscular augments on the way up, and we are just having MaNa just backs away. He's cancelled the 3rd base again. What more does he need to do? Well, again, really not that much. If he just keeps on cancelling this 3rd base, he can just sit back for as long as he likes and do whatever he wants. A few Adepts in the main going to get some actual economic damage done, actually killing some drones for the first time in a while. I mean, that's fine. He actually didn't kill drones all game because he didn't really need to. But now in some 11 worker deficit as well, 11 less workers to kind of use moving on from here as we see them getting cleaned out, the Adepts. But God, again, all having more drones going down. MaNa sits on 3 bases. His Colossi are coming up. He is looking so comfortable, so in control of this game number 2. There is really not much else to say about it. I mean, MaNa has just led this one from the start, and he's made every correct maneuver to make sure that Guru does not get back into this. And Guru is going to be kicking himself for losing that game number 1 after being in a great position, forcing MaNa into the all-in, which he saw coming in, and just getting himself supply blocked when he probably could have gotten the units up to really take advantage of the position MaNa was in and to defend against what was essentially the all-in at that stage. Big macro mistake from Guru, really cost him in game number 1, and obviously that becomes so much more painful when you lose game number 2 as well, so not a good day for Guru here in the office. I mean, he made it to the round of 4, but round of 4 doesn't mean much anymore. We used to have prize pool for the round of 4 and Go4 monthly finals, but not any longer. Nowadays, it's you go big or you go bust. It's all about that first place and second place. And MaNa's going to get there. MaNa's going to guarantee him himself some prize money today by just making it to the finals. And he's going to be playing against either DNS or Braddock. That other quarterfinal matchup between Sol and Braddock going in Braddock's favor. Going to be a PvT in our second semi-final of the day. And again, that's coming up straight after this series here. Going to be getting that ready for you guys very soon. MaNa playing a very passive game, suddenly just, I mean, again, waiting to keep on building up his advantages. Suddenly he has Storm, and so any engagement he takes just becomes so much better. I'm so intrigued by the Robo Bay and 1 Colossus. Like, is he just trying to bait Guru into building, like, Corruptors or something? I mean, it's just one of those things where 1 Colossus isn't really going to do anything. So I wonder why he built in the first. I mean, if it feels like he wants Guru to, like, overcommit to kind of find an answer to Colossi, then he just really overruns him with kind of units on the ground. I don't think Guru really had the chance to commit to an counter Colossus play. I think if Colossus came up, his best answer would have been to just amass units and hope for really good engagement. Obviously, it's unlikely, but I mean, how likely is it that you get up to Corruptors, you know, in a state where you stay alive in the game? You probably don't, because he was, again, just really trailing here from the earlier stages. Forces coming down, the storms are good as well, and I mean, a lot of Lings already dying in the first little, well, kind of pressure from Guru on towards that army. MaNa's just like, cool, you know, this is looking fine for me. Again, you know, this fight goes, so, I mean, if you can even call that a fight, this little engagement kind of goes my way. He sees that I've got an army that's terrifying, he backs off. I don't think MaNa needs to kind of stick around for too much longer. There's an attempt to drop into the main, denied by the fact MaNa just has units in position. He's ready for absolutely everything at the moment. The High Templar trail a little bit behind, but when they catch up, those storms are going to be absolutely critical to get rid of the Hydras. And obviously these Adepts and Zealots are going to be able to join in the fun as well. So MaNa's setting up to the south side, going to send some hallucinated Phoenix forwards, looking to keep track of Guru's army in whichever way he can. Actually see a few of these Hydras going to lift up, and they're going to come to the 4th base instead, somewhere MaNa is not. As Banelings, Hydralisks, moving back up into the center of the map here. And you're seeing a storm coming down, and those Hydras taking quite a beating. So that's able to get quite a lot done, and we do see Well, the High Templar are actually kind of on their own here. They will start to drop some storms. The force fields will save them. They will start to die. I mean, the storms are very, very good, and the force fields were clutch as well to keep them alive. MaNa's going to hold on, but this really could have been so much worse. Those High Templar were trailing behind, and they really did get in trouble for a moment or two. They started to take quite a lot of damage. That was a little bit crazy. Anyways, now, look, it's on the way up. Again, MaNa's giving Guru so much time from a position that I feel like Guru should have never had time in. Again, MaNa's definitely still leading, as we are going to be seeing these Adepts to the south, picking off the group team in the front. Some Hydras pushing forwards, and we are going to be seeing these Adepts able to come in and fight against those Adepts. So, Hydras coming in to fight against those Adepts. They get cleaned out. MaNa doesn't find anything with those. Is MaNa just being too passive? Yes, he's still leading. Yes, he's the player for Bank, but is he just giving Guru the chances to maybe harass his way back into this to stay alive and to get some other bits and pieces done? Maybe. I mean, as Lurkers come up, again, was Guru ever meant to get Lurkers in this game? Could MaNa have ended it earlier? Probably, but then it's also, you know, not a given, right? Because if he screws up the engagement, if the Banin hits go well, suddenly, you know, MaNa's in a little bit more trouble, and then he didn't prepare for a later stage. So maybe this was the safer way to play it out. As long as he can fight against these Lurkers now, he should still be fine. He's going to come down this ramp. More Lurkers morph in. There's going to be a lot of Lurkers. He cancels those ones. Can't really justify continuing to morph them. If they are, Protoss armies continue to move in towards his position. MaNa just sends in a Warp Prism of Zealots to the left-hand side, so there's going to be a few drones already dropping. The Zerglings that start to come in to respond aren't going to be the most effective. A few Hydras will be the better result. And they will find themselves able to clean that up. Well, army here from MaNa in the center of the map, still looking to see what might happen here, as we're going to be seeing a big wave of assaults going down. Still Lurker shots, again, that splash is pretty powerful. I guess this is why we were just waiting so long. We've seen the fleet beacon coming up, and the carrier production has now begun. So by starting to go into carriers here, what MaNa has allowed to happen, or what Guru's kind of been unable to stop, I suppose, MaNa's just going to get to that real kind of win condition. If he gets carriers up in this game, what on earth is Guru going to do against them? And of course, he's in one hell of a position to defend against this Zerg army until carriers come up. Although he's out of position on his 4th base, and these Hydras are going to start getting a lot done. The Nexus is going to start dropping. A lot of probes going down. This army of the Zerg player is definitely in a bit of an awkward spot, though. It's not in the sort of position where he's going to be able to escape, so he has to take the fight. Storms keep coming down. There's no detection here, so this one single Lurker is getting so much done. MaNa loses 18 workers. He's got a lot of armies to the right side that's just not doing anything at the moment. Guru, I mean, again, it's attacks like that bring him back into a game that maybe he should never really have been in. Look at this army supply advantage that MaNa's had throughout the game. As this cross player and an income advantage like this, surely this should have been so much simpler. But now the Lurker count is actually kind of a bit scary. It is causing a couple of issues here and there. Guru backs away ahead of supply. I mean, the overall issue is that MaNa's building carriers, right? So while this has maybe not been the best minute or two for him, he can still look towards the carriers as, okay, well, they're on the way. And when they get here, what is Guru going to do then? What on earth is he going to have in response to carriers? Hydras aren't going to cut it. You know, he's not really got the tech up. He doesn't have the Spire. He's got an infestation pit on the way, so that's a hive in maybe a couple of minutes. It's going to be seeing the Hydras here cleaning out the top side. MaNa still just moving this army around towards the upper left. A lot of creep pushing out through the right side as well. It allows Guru a lot of map control. And because MaNa's been so passive and kind of sitting back, it gives Guru that kind of safety blanket of creep before MaNa reaches his base with any sort of attack here. Whenever the fight starts up, obviously one carrier is not really going to make the difference. With 3 carriers in production, you don't really want to commit into a fight just now as MaNa. It's the worst possible time. So much of your resources caught up in that carrier production, which just isn't going to aid you yet. I mean, 1 or 2 carriers definitely manageable by the group of Hydras. Storms are good here and there. They're definitely hitting, and that was a great storm because the army of the Zerg player walked back into it about twice over. Pulling back again, MaNa will be able to sit on the newly rebuilt 4th base. Another couple of storms, a few mortars to back it up as well. The Hydra count's definitely taking a beating. Is it enough to allow these carriers to now commit on in? Well, obviously, MaNa seems to think so. He begins to push on forwards. He'll try and target down the Overseer, take away the detection so that the Lurkers can't actually hit the units under the mothership. MaNa sends himself a few Zealots forwards once again, so trying to find some more damage in that way. But, I mean, Guru sees it from so far away. He has the creep spread, right? So, he's already chasing them down, and the damage here is really going to be minimal. I mean, maybe we're talking about 2 or 3 drones. Depends on the controller, really. One drone goes down already. The Zealots move towards the mineral line. That wasn't even 2 drones, as long as the Zealots still don't turn around and do much more. They get themselves a Hydralisk here towards the very end, but not even. And it's again just more Zealots from MaNa that don't do a lot. And MaNa's economy is not great at the moment, by the way, guys. After losing 20 workers before, he never really rebuilt those. So Guru takes a massive income lead. So suddenly Guru is the player with the bank. He's the player with the workers to kind of trade out and to take skirmishes like that. MaNa can't really afford to just throw away Zealots en masse to try and harass a base or two, especially if Guru bats it away so easily. Here comes that main army in from the left-hand side. MaNa defending the 3rd base at the same time. He's got a couple of storms here to ward Guru away. Maybe Guru should just dive on this army to the left. Again, it's only 3 carries for now. It's so difficult to justify that, though. That move command. Oh my god, Guru! The move command just doesn't stop. He commits through the army. Absolutely painful here. Guru loses so much in that small moment. That's definitely a pickup for MaNa. And suddenly maybe Guru can't afford to take a fight and then remax. And maybe that does give MaNa the time to get even more carriers up here. I mean, we keep talking about time, and I think time is the most invaluable resource of this entire game at the moment. Because MaNa needs time to get the carriers up. Guru had the time to get back into the game initially anyways. It's a great storm with the carriers combined. The Hydras take some heavy hits already. More units off to the right. Guru trying to find another direction of attack again here, but I mean, the High Templar are here, right? There's Archons, there's Immortals, there's Cannons. There's no way you break this position. MaNa knows these split-ups have been a common occurrence so far, so he knows to kind of bring himself, you know, leave some units there, stop Guru from committing fully into that position. Because again, all MaNa really has to do is hold on for more carriers, and then eventually, as more carriers come up, he gets into that much, much better stage of this. Some rocks in the center going down. MaNa's army on the front of this kind of Zerg base now, or Zerg creep. A lot of interceptors going down there. The storm is pretty good to deal with a lot of that. Banelin's rolling in over here. Some clutch force fields to save 3 of the 2 of the High Templar. Well, unfortunately got pushed to the wrong side of the force fields, and it did go down. Another revelation. A few Hydras and Lurkers tagged once again. To the left-hand side, Hydras picking off another Zealot, plus 2 air weapons on the way on the cybernetics core, plus 1 attack on the Forge. Plus 3 missiles, plus 2 carapace. And we've seen these Hydras continuing to drop at the moment. And it's little pickoffs like that that just force kind of Guru to spend his bank on more Hydras, right? And it's little kind of, you know, remaxes like that don't really help him in any way, shape, or form. Because it's not like the army improves, and it's not like he got anything out of this. You know, he didn't find any value from those Hydras, so he didn't break his way through MaNa's army even a little bit there. Even these Hydras don't really know quite where they want to go. Hydras and Bane's going to be looking for a little bit of a surround. Carrier's going to fire away at a couple of those Overseers already. A couple of Archons moving forward. So we do see Hydras on the right side of this. Going to take a big beating already. Storm's coming down. A lot of damage being dealt, as we do see again those Overseers with some heavy hits coming onto them. The Overseers, if they fall, remember, there's no detection. The rest of the army will just be unkillable. Although it is mostly just carriers, and the interceptors do have to rebuild here for a moment. So MaNa just takes the second or two to rebuild those, to get those up yet again. Plus 3 missiles completing, and we do see the Hydras bailing. Moving around, a few more infestors on the way up. Half-Jink Gland's about to finish up. An Oracle getting picked off, but the Stasis Ward catches a few of those Hydras. That's cute. Again, you can see that Guru's game plan is just to split up and attack everywhere, but there's still little bits and pieces of MaNa left around to deal with this. Actually, the Natural's maybe the most exposed base. MaNa just keeps on pushing through. Does he recall, or does he keep on pushing? Because he's going to lose a little bit on this Natural, no doubt about it. But obviously, at the same time, he's going to get so much done in terms of shutting down the external bases of Guru. And as those bases begin to fall, that obviously becomes a much bigger issue here for Guru, because now he can't really mine and rebuild anything. As long as MaNa doesn't lose his production, then overall it should be fine. I wouldn't even mind. I guess, how do you recall half of this army? You kind of don't. He kills 2 bases, and then he'll recall off towards the 4th, and that will be what forces these Hydralisks away. A lot of drones went down in this process, 14 of them. in recent times, and a few of them are actually just trying to run away towards the bottom right, where there's a couple of Immortals. Now it's kind of grew back towards the 4 bases he's had all game long, and that means that they've been heavily mined out, because we're 23 minutes into the game now. 23 minutes in, if these bases are mined out, there's no way they're going to be able to kind of have much left on them, right? I mean, I guess that's the definition of mined out. But it means that the 4th base, the 5th base is so essential to keep alive. MaNa, by denying this, also results to the top left denying this base. There's just no way that Guru can realistically set up in a way that gives him the sort of, the money to keep on trading. And so MaNa, slowly but surely, after taking a heavy lead early in this game, he's going to win this one out. I mean, again, it's taken a long time. And Guru's going to put up another kind of fight or two against this army. Maybe it's going to be one engagement, which is going to be close. Maybe it's going to be a couple of fights, but eventually Guru will not be able to hang on for much longer. MaNa just needs to find himself the correct positions to push into. Spores make it a little bit more questionable when he should attack and when he shouldn't. Infestors are going to make it difficult as well. Gets himself 1 or 2 spores there. Obviously, again, this is really more of a patience game more than anything else a lot of the time. A few Infestors on the way up, a few more Hydralisks. To the right-hand side, we're going to be seeing some Creep Teamers being picked away at. Actually, quite a few Creep Teamers going down over on this side, as we do see some Spore Crawlers from Guru will just drop over here. Again, these Interceptors starting to get into action. Starting to get a little bit of damage done here and there, as we see MaNa gathering his units back up. And again, some good creep cleaned out. The more creep that he clears, the less kind of map control Guru has, the less counterattacks like this he can pull off more easily. Infested Terran's going to come out now, and we are going to be seeing some storms to help deal with the initial waves of that. This army from MaNa is still at home, ready to deal with the potential of a counterattack exactly like this one. I mean, this is why this army is left over here. And with multiple storms, multiple Archons and Immortals, these Hydras are just going to die. There's nothing that, I mean, okay, maybe they trade out in the end, but even trading out is not really the answer for Guru. He needs to straight up kill bases. He needs to deny economy. Storms coming down again, as MaNa will just clean up a wave of Infested Terrans. As Infested Terrans drop down, it means the Infestors are falling out of energy, and then there really is no answer to these Interceptors, which just keep on cleaning it up. And now MaNa 185 supply to the 100. Good race, says Guru, as he's going to be ready to tap out here and to give MaNa the 2-0 win in the semi-finals of today's Go4SC2 monthly. As we are going to be seeing continue to push on down to the south side, MaNa will take the 2-0 and move through to the grand final.